going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we're going to be taking a look again at the reveal trailer, but I am leaving a link in the description below for kind of a lesser quality video of a stream that was done here in Japan via VJump. I did something, I think I streamed this similar when they did something with Dokkan a while back ago, but nonetheless, if you are looking forward to this game with Dragonball FighterZ, then this is all of our worries, basically. I think for the most part, they're being washed away by this reveal gameplay trailer from the stream, and I'm assuming they're going to have some gameplay available on the floor over at E3 over in the US right now. So unfortunately, I'm not in the US, I cannot even get into E3, but I can at least analyze the Twitch stream here that I could see in Japan because I got to see the stream after I realized it broadcasted, because it was like 8 p.m. here Japan time when it happened, and it's 9 p.m. right now. So nonetheless, I'm going to break it down via the reveal trailer, okay? So we're going to be looking at the reveal trailer and saying, okay, this is what we're seeing. This is actually used in the stream itself, or it was not looked in the stream, or it's a kind of misleading, because obviously with a trailer, you want to make a big action set piece kind of thing, right? So let's take a look at the trailer. There's gonna be a lot of rewinding and rewatching things, but we're gonna be breaking this down, and we're gonna be seeing, okay, by the way, this part in the reveal trailer, in the actual gameplay, it is, 90-90, basically whatever, okay? So let's go into the trailer and let's take a look at everything, okay? So let's start up, okay? Obviously, we gotta get past the usual. The fact that this is made by Unreal 4, by the way, very nice. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna wait till they get to Goku here, okay? Obviously, the writing on there is not gonna be in the match when you start it up. Okay, so right here, not only does that look amazing, but this part right here. Okay, so from the character selection screen, if you've watched a little gameplay that I left in the link in the description below, this is what happens when you actually start the match, okay? You actually pick from Super Saiyan Goku. You don't pick from base Goku. Now, will they have base Goku in there? Well, based on the character selection screen, I'm going to assume we're probably going to have around 30 characters or so, maybe closer to 25-ish, I would say. So we're not going to be getting the 100 characters. You're not going to be getting character customization or anything like that, okay? The best you're going to get is some color swaps, essentially. That's not what this game's about. This is about fighting pure and simple, okay? If you're trying to hear for some kind of Xenoverse story or a new telling of the story, anything like that, Arc does good story. They did great with BlazBlue. I don't know how they did with Guilty Gear. I don't expect anything out of the ordinary from the Dragon Ball game. They might try something, but that's not going to be their focus. Their focus is fighting here and now. This is what it's going to be, okay? So this is what happens when you start the match. You pick your characters, you pick the map that you want to go onto, and boom, here you go. So Goku, obviously, when you pick Goku, he's going to go Super Saiyan. Frieza is going to be, probably doing his little, like, Ja Ikimasho kind of thing, because obviously this is all in Japanese, so, I don't know what he'd say in English. Vegeta's gonna be going like this. Gohan's gonna be like, all right, let's do this. Power up to Super Saiyan 2. Cell powers up, essentially, for what I saw from another gameplay. So that is something to keep in mind. So this is what they do in the beginning, okay? So let's keep going. Okay, fighters are ready. Okay, now, right here real quick, and I just realized that looks like a really funny shot, but, that's just how they did it, I guess. But anyway, so all these clips here, I'm gonna let it go to the end, actually. Okay, so all of those clips right there, where they're all flying in to hit you, and then they collide with their arms, and they're like just stand still, and then they backflip, okay? Because right now, they're gonna backflip into that right there, okay? That is actually not how they start the fight. So when you are fighting, when you're doing a 3v3 fighting, and you say Goku gets KO'd and your next character comes in, because as we've seen from the promotional photos before this trailer dropped, you're going to have 3 characters, one with your main life bar, and you're going to have 2 smaller ones kind of in the background behind it, and a little smaller representing your partners that you bring along with you. And if Goku, for example, is your main character and he gets KO'd and Vegeta's your next character, Vegeta will come flying in, and then he will collide with whoever he is fighting. So in this case, it would be Frieza, and you'll see them do that. They'll backflip, and then you go back into the fight, okay? So so them flying into each other, that's not how you start the fight. This is how you start the fight. So right here, okay? So let's continue real quick, okay? Some basic combos right here, okay? That's going to just be your basic buttons, X, Y, A, whatever platform you're playing on, whatever controller you're using, your basic combos, okay? Let's continue. Okay, now deflection here, okay? So I'm assuming this is probably like a perfectly timed blocked. Unfortunately, in the stream, the guys were pretty noob at this game. They were not that good. You could tell they did the same thing with Doke, and they do the same thing with any other game, basically. These guys don't know really how to play the game, okay? So, but in terms of deflecting, I'm assuming it's going to be, it'd be like kind of considered like a perfect block kind of thing, essentially. That would be my assumption. Now, also note in the background, we've got some destruction here, which is pretty cool. In the game play that, again, is in the description below, you will see that there is little background destruction that's happening. It's not obviously going to collapse a building on top of you and you're going to take damage or anything like that, but it's kind of like moving around the map, I would assume. I would assume maybe if you hit someone hard enough, you're going to set, like, for example, if Goku comes over here and hits Frieza hard enough, you're going to send him into a different section of the map. You're going to see a little bit of a different background. Same area, obviously, because you're on, like, Planet Namek, for example, but you're going to see something different. Maybe, for example, if you're fighting at the World Tournament stage, you're going to start there, and if you hit him hard enough, you're going to end up in the streets of the city or something like that. So again, I can't say that exactly because they didn't show that in the stream, but that would be my assumption because they did do it on Planet Namek in the stream and they did move a little bit. So let's continue on here. Okay, now this right here, that's kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this right here though, this is what, it looks like a kind of an aerial combo. So in the stream, and they did it multiple times, there's a moment where you like get a special hit, you knock them up in the air, and then I'm assuming you press something, and then you do as much damage you can really quickly. I think Rhymestyle told me it's referred to as like a dust move or something like that from Guilty Gears, but nonetheless, you do as much damage you can, and then you send them flying. So it didn't seem like it was too hard of a combo to pull off, unless of course the person playing was someone from Ark's, you know, the Ark company essentially that is, you know, making the game. Then obviously it's easy for him. From what I've heard, these I'm just gonna refer to them as dust attacks for right now, or we can call them aerial combos. Let's just do that for Dragon Ball. These aerial combos are for the most part, you know, I'm assuming they're probably pretty difficult to pull off, or maybe they're not, or maybe there's different levels of them. Like this one is a very basic one. You hit him up in the air, you punch him a bunch of times, and you knock him away. Maybe there's a different one where you start doing the teleporting and everything, which we'll see here maybe with Gohan and Cell, where they're doing the teleporting and everything. Maybe that's another level up or something like that. Again, I'm not sure. I have not played the game. So anyway, so this is just simply some little combo he does, and then he knocks him away. So, okay, so this is what I was talking about right here, where we have kind of Cell getting hit by Gohan, and Gohan's teleporting around and stuff. Now, I am assuming three things here. One, that we are going to be able to levitate. One thing I did not notice in the gameplay, unless I just completely missed it, was the fact that there wasn't really any kind of actually like floating in the air or anything. Everything was jumping. You know, if you did an attack, you'd be staying up there. And then I think there's one instant I did see it. I have to go back and look at it again, but I'm assuming we're going to be able to do that, okay? Second, maybe this is kind of that aerial combat level 2 style here, where you're able to, you know, start your combo off, you hit him up, you do a bunch of teleporting, you're hitting him, you're getting a lot of hits in, and you're doing a lot of damage. So maybe it's kind of like I'm going to call it a level 2 aerial combo. Again, I could be wrong. This is only the first day of seeing this. I haven't been able to play it itself. But yeah, or, you know, and then I think Cell even dodges it here. So let's just take a look real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna role play it back again. No, okay, so Gohan does that. So I'm assuming, again, that is going to be like a level 2 aerial combo here. Because if we back it up, that's Vegeta doing a Ki Blast. That's kind of a cool shot. I'm just going to leave it there. But nonetheless, okay, so that is kind of my speculation then. It's going to be like a harder aerial combo attack. Okay, so let's move on. So Buhan, just more attacks. Okay, so that instant Kamehameha right there, I'm assuming that is going to be what I would consider a normal super move. Again, I don't know what these would be technically called, but I'm just going to call it a normal super move. You know, every character is going to have their own. Goku, instant transmission, Kamehameha. Gohan, Kamehameha. Vegeta, Big Bang attack, or a Big Bang attack that looks like a Final Flash, but nonetheless, it's only by one hand, which we've kind of seen already. Let's continue on into the trailer, though. Okay, so again, I'm not sure how easy it is to pull these moves off. I'm assuming somewhat difficult, probably not the easiest thing, but again, they're not going to make it super hard. These are just basic attacks you're going to be doing. Okay. All right, so bar your partner's strength. Okay, so I'm assuming maybe this kind of reminds me, this is one thing I did not see the stream either, but this kind of reminds me of what we had in Budokai 3, where if you got an attack off at the same time, and then they kind of did that kind of 360 circle thing where you start fighting and you have to mash the buttons and everything, that it could be something like this. Again, I'm not sure, but I wasn't able to see it in that gameplay trailer. All right, so another super attack, just some normal super attacks. Okay, so this right here, what Frieza throwing his death ball down, this is just a normal super attack. This is not something like a, you know, ultra finisher. So like in BlazBlue, you had astral finishes. In Guilty Gears, you had instant kills, essentially. I don't know what the technical term was in the game, but you had those special moves. Now, this is not one of those. So I'm assuming, just like I think a lot of us probably assumed, was the fact that this all had, you know, every character's going to have, obviously, kicks and punches, and then you're going to have your basic super attacks, Kamehameha, the whole 9 yards, and then eventually, probably, you're going to have some way to do some big, huge finisher or something like that, okay? All right, so now here's the thing. Okay, now 3v3, okay? I'm going to let this run through first for the 3v3 part, and then I'm going to rewind it and kind of show what this shows and kind of it fibs a little bit about what it's actually doing. So let's run through, and then I'm going to rewind it to this point, okay? So 49 seconds. Okay, so let's go back to 47. Okay, so 3 characters. Okay, so you saw a lot of characters on the screen. You're probably thinking like, okay, is this going to be some kind of like 2v2 mode? Like maybe even you would have 4 people fighting at once kind of thing. They could add a mode like that, but I don't think they're going to, okay? So let me go to the first kind of frame, I guess, okay? So let's go here. Okay, so we've got 4 people on the screen. We had Frieza and Goku fighting originally, okay? And then Buu was called in, and then Vegeta was called in, okay? So this is how it works. So this is kind of like, I'm assuming it's probably from Capcom and Marvel game, the Capcom and Marvel game. But I also, I think most recently remember it is from Naruto Ninja Storm, I believe, or something like that, where you could call in, you hit a button, I think it's one of the shoulder buttons, and your partner would drop, and they do an attack, and then they leave real quick. This is what's happening right here. Now, you can switch between your characters. Like if Goku wanted to switch out for Vegeta permanently, or just, you know, for a while at least, maybe Vegeta has full health and Goku only has half health, you can do that. But in this instance right here, Vegeta's being called in to land, do an attack, and then leave. Unfortunately, because of how fast the trailer is, it looks like there's 4 people on screen at once. That is actually misleading. Now, again, like I said before, they could have a game mode where they do this, but in terms of this right here, for what they have at the demo that they showed off on the stream, and I'm assuming at E3, this is what's going to be. You're going to have 1 fighter on the screen at a time. If you have multiple fighters on there at the same time, that is simply because everyone has called in an ally to help them fire off an attack and then get out of there and retreat, essentially, okay? So let's continue on. So this right here, so Gohan here is fighting. If you've noticed, Gohan is not actually doing any attacks or anything like that. He's just fighting Cell. Goku and Vegeta are in there. They dropped in, they do their attack, and then they're going to leave. Unfortunately, again, this is too fast, so it's not going to show them leaving. Yeah, so that right there. So Vegeta's getting attacked. Cell calls in Frieza, okay, and Buu to come in there. And then that right there, where Frieza goes charging in like that, that is where Cell and Frieza switch places, actually. Unless Frieza... No, I don't think Frieza was. Let's rewind just a couple of frames real quick. So Cell's the main fighter. Or actually, maybe Frieza's a fighter. Hang on. Let's back it up a second here. Let's just back up. Okay, so Cell's fighting Vegeta. Frieza jumps in, and then Cell goes away. Okay, so again, and now he's fighting Goku. So that must mean that Cell was fighting Vegeta, but then they decided to leave, and then Goku and Frieza came in, and of course they were continuing to attack. Frieza probably called in Cell for a little bit of backup attack real quick, and then Cell left. So again, this is not having all the characters on the same screen at the same time. This is just simply the way of assisting, basically getting an assist from your partner, and then they leave, okay? So anyway, so let's continue. Okay, so now these are the big finishers. Let's go through them real quick, and then I'll rewind again, okay? So Father Son Kamehameha, Final Flash, Cell's Kamehameha, Buu turning into a cookie, apparently. Okay, now I'm going to stop right here. Actually, no, let's continue on, and I'm going to come back here. Because I just love watching this scene. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right here, actually. Then I'm going to rewind and we're going through the rest of it, okay? So now, if you ever get an attack off like this, I guess you could maybe call this their kind of like ultra instant kill kind of thing. But when watching the stream, and you'll see it again down in the link in the description below, when this is pulled off by, I believe it's Vegeta, he gets his final flash off of Planet Namek here, okay? It's just going the other way, essentially, okay? But when this happens, the match still continues. He only finished off one of the players. He did not finish off the entire team. He simply finished off, I think it was Cell or Buu, and then Frieza jumped into the mix, okay? Because obviously Frieza's the last character to keep fighting. when that happened, okay, when this super attack went off, Namek, the background of the stage itself, was then in shambles to the state of when Frieza was originally fighting Goku and the anime. So I'm assuming that maybe not for every single level, but for maybe a good chunk of them, the majority of them, if you pull off one of these big kind of finisher moves, you are going to be able to change the background, you know, the layout and everything, some of the rubble that happens to look and everything. So that's kind of cool, kind of seeing that dynamic background essentially kind of thing, okay? So let's rewind it back to when we start the Father-Son Kamehameha. That is that. Okay, so here's the Father-Son Kamehameha. So again, this is just simply going through all the different kind of ultra move kind of things you can have, instant kills, whatever you want to call them. So let's go through it real quick. Final Flash, Cell, Boo turning you into a cookie. I'm assuming that's just a normal super move. I'm not sure again, but you know, we have to say, and actually that is a really cool picture right there. Okay, now Frieza turning golden here. Now, when I watched the trailer or the little gameplay stream and everything, the guy went golden Frieza. He transformed. Now, we're all probably, at first we're all thinking like, okay, do we just simply pick them in Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 3 and Blue or whatever's going to be in the case? We don't know that for sure. But Frieza in his fourth form is what you pick. On the stream, if you watch near the end, the guy goes golden Frieza twice. I don't know if it's because he was the last guy and his health was a certain amount, or if simply I'm assuming he charged up his ki, because if you notice on the bottom of the screen, there is a ki gauge, obviously. This is a Dragon Ball Z game, you know, why not? But that would make me to assume that you can transform at will in this game. Maybe there is some criteria, I'm not really sure, but he went golden Frieza twice. He went golden Frieza, he fought a bit, he was strong, and he went back to base form. I don't remember if he got hit out of it or simply just ran out of time. I would assume out of time, but again, I could be wrong. If I remember in past games, you could stay Super Saiyan or golden or whatever it might be until you got knocked hard enough or something like that, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but maybe that is kind of how it is going with this. But this right here is not his ultimate move. This is simply him transforming into golden Frieza, and you can continue to fight, okay? Okay, now this right here, Goku going Super Saiyan 3, this is his Ultra move, or at least for this demo, alpha, whatever you want to call it. In the stream, Goku hits Frieza, goes Super Saiyan 3, knocks him around, and blasts off the Kamehameha and finishes it off, basically. So this right here, in terms of Goku trying to go Super Saiyan 3, as of right now, we don't know if you can actually just do a transformation at will. It actually might be Super Saiyan Blue, but who knows? Again, I don't know any of those details. I haven't been able to play the game, test it out, look at the different commands, what movesets there are and everything. If I could go to E3, I would, but nonetheless, that is what we see. So this is his Ultra move, as you guys have already known. Fires it off. Okay, okay, so Frieza doing this here. Let's see if I can get Cell. Cell doing this little power move. This is, again, his entrance animation when he starts the fight. Not even during the fight or anything. When you select your character in the screen and it goes in. So that's for Cell. Frieza, again, this is probably his. I have not seen that yet personally, but I'm assuming this is what Frieza does. So let's continue. Father-Son Kamehameha. And Goku doing the final Kamehameha, or his big Kamehameha move, and then blowing a hole through the planet. If he still had someone left over, then that would be the, you know, the background would be decimated, and then he'd go on to the next fighter, essentially, okay? And I believe that is basically it from what we've seen, okay? Now, I left a screen. I want to leave a screenshot up on the camera, or on the screen right now to take a look at the roster right now. I believe we're probably going to get around 20 to 30 characters would be my guess. Bigger than what you would expect from a Guilty Gear or BlazBlue game, but nowhere near something like Xenoverse or anything like that, okay? Again, this is concentrating on fighting, pure and simple. This is the core value of it. It's going to be fighting game. Everything else is second, okay? Again, it's coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Steam. There is a closed beta coming at the end of the summer. I do not know how to get into it. Hopefully more details will come out soon enough, but nonetheless, that is what it's going to be doing, and that's pretty much the end of, that's all I can break down from watching the stream, watching this trailer, like, I feel like 100 times, but nonetheless, it should be some good stuff. So I am super hyped for the game. I'm on the hype train right now, we'll have to see it go. I want to try the beta and everything, but nonetheless, I'm looking forward to this. I love playing BlazBlue. I love playing Guilty Gear. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game, but yeah. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you watch the gameplay trailers that I left down in the comments below? Did you find new ones? Let us know. As always, what do you think of the game? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Not really your cup of tea. Definitely on the hype train. Let me know that in the comments. As always, leave a like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you are new. I will be bringing you as fast updates as I possibly can, whether it's from E3 or if things are released here in Japan. I'll be keeping it on that as always. I'll be going to the convenience stores to get the Jump magazines if I can to see if there's any updates on this game. I am super hyped. I am super hyped. Xenoverse 2, what? No, I'm joking. Some people like Xenoverse 2. Some people prefer this type of game. It is okay to like both, guys. We are living in that type of world. But yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next one.